Is there a charm in her not speaking the language? Actually, there is. Just listen to this. Well, first of all, the timbre of voice. When she speaks, you hear her voice, and often that is great because you learn how to connect to that person through her voice. So that's number one thing, and it doesn't depend on whether she speaks the language or she doesn't. Second thing is Slavic accent. Sounds very sexy. Many men have mentioned that this sexy Slavic accent gives a lot of charm, and when she doesn't use words in the right sense, when she's making some funny mistakes, it adds some uniqueness to your communication and makes that communication really fun. Also, one of the gentlemen has mentioned that Slavic accent has the James Bond movie illusion. It's reminding of those female spies that were so hot, so attractive, so outstanding. And when you hear that, it immediately brings you those memories of a cool girl, femme fatale or special woman that a Ukrainian woman is. So there are lots of benefits, as it appears, from a woman not speaking your language, which I have heard from visitors of my speaking club recently, and we spoke about learning the language, language skills, and all the nuances of improving the language when you are together in relationship, and some tips of how you can learn language faster once you are in love with each other. So in this video, I'm going to give some of the main ideas that were part of the speaking club thing. And if you aren't aware of my speaking club, well, you are welcome. Join my Telegram channel, and you can see that link in the channel description of this channel description, and join and watch and participate, because the speaking club that I do for men and women is an open event that takes place every 2 weeks on Thursdays, 9 p.m. Kyiv time, and we meet and talk about everything that matters for a relationship. So, you want to be part of the speaking club? Sign up for marriagebynatalie.com and welcome to my speaking club. So, the tips for learning English and why it's so cool. Of course, it's frustrating. Finally, I'm saying that. Yes, it is frustrating when you don't speak the language, and it adds tension. But love is strong, and I see some couples, not many, but those who really like each other, they have their chance to connect beyond the difficulties that go around them. Well, you should know that English is our second language. None of us, even myself, we don't speak English fluently as a native speaker. We can speak well, we can understand well, but we grew up in a Ukrainian and Russian speaking communities, and we were never a colony of an English speaking community, so we can only know general things that maybe excluding some sarcasm, some humors, some allusions, some idioms, or some set phrases that are clearly understood by yourself. So try avoid using those set expressions, and your communication with a Ukrainian girl will be much easier. And when she doesn't speak the language, you can be actually condescending to her language skills and to her communication style, because the fact that she communicates, that she makes an effort, is speaking volumes about her attitude and her interest in you, doesn't it? So if she is a regular English learner, if she is making an effort, she can be also frustrated at times that she can't express herself well enough right now. But your included support, your overall care matters a lot and brings it to a different level. Well, I should say that learning the language is a good exercise for anyone. And assuming you are 30 plus, the brain needs an exercise. So learning the language gives you that power and that very special, unique playground, or let's call it, playground for exercising your neuroplasticity and putting together everything you've earned before into mastering a new skill. That will provide you in the future, that will provide you lower chances of dementia, lower chances of some neuro illnesses, and usefulness. So, besides her learning English, you can try and learn Ukrainian for your brain, for your communication, for talking to your in-laws, for God's sake, because that matters a lot for them as well. They will respect you more for that, even if you learn 200 basic words that are enough for communication and learn how to put them together to be understood. And you gain a lot of respect. That's what you want, don't you? So, other ideas on what you can do to learn the language and to be supportive of your girlfriend. Of course, reading books together, watching movies together, putting a dictionary on the phone of some really set phrases that are must-haves, but you don't really need to keep those phrases because it takes very fast to learn them. You need to be patient because learning the language takes minimum 3 months. Minimum 3 months. But then, when we are learning the language, we are going back to being children. And as a linguist, and as a language teacher by my first degree, I can tell that in the childhood, we need 2 years to start understanding, digesting, and being able to reproduce language clusters. So, well, adults do it faster because the intellect is more developed for the adults. But in 1 year, she will not only be able to hear basic things, but she will hear, understand, and will be able to respond. So, wait till that moment, then she can respond, because Ukrainian women are powerful. We are emotional. We can express ourselves when we really want something, when we really care about something. You will hear it. So wait till that moment, because if that woman really loves you, she will definitely speak. Yes, she will speak your language. And usually women are relocating to live in the country where her man is. And with the support of the man, with your backup, even with your paying for the language course, it's making it easier for you. And you watch how much effort she puts into learning the language, how much involved she is into mastering all the skills, then that shows your care. And her intellectual capacity, and her persistence, and her personality. So, not speaking the language, another advantage is you can see faster who the person is. Because if the person is choleric temperament and it's not your type, you'll see that sooner than later. If the person is impatient, same about choleric temperament, you will see it sooner than later. If the person is frustrated about basic things, you can see it much faster. So that's another benefit, besides a sexy voice, besides James Bond images, besides this sexy Slavic accent. So the communication is verbal and non-verbal. And guess what? 35% of communication, only 35% is verbal. The rest 65 is non-verbal, which gives you much higher chance. You just need words to say basic things, but the rest is your facial expression, it's your gestures, your attitude, your willingness to talk. And that creates relationships. And as you learn the language, you are learning more about each other and you develop relationships. When it is hard to communicate, how you find simple words to understand her better and to get your point to her better. Some guys are saying that, you talk to her like she's a 5-year-old. Yeah, makes sense. Because when she's learning the language, she needs as simple words as possible so she can focus on the basics and then learn the ropes, learn it better. And when you are slowly giving her some phrases you use, she will understand you better also. So, go ahead and start relationships basing on your attraction, basing not so much on attraction, basing on your key life values and on your relationship expectations. These things are much more important than her mastering the language right now. If the woman is pleasantly looking and you like her physique, if she has same key life values and relationships expectations with you, you have all the chances to master your relationships and be happy together. Because language is not even 10s on the list, by the way. There are other things that are more important. The key thing is your willingness to move forward in this relationship and be ready to invest yourself into a new challenge, which finding a woman from another country is. It can be Ukraine, it can be, Bali, it can be any country that isn't an English-speaking country and she needs to learn it. Take your time and be patient and fall in love and stick to your love and your relations. And then everything will be possible. And if you want to find such a woman, my name is Natali Koval. I have been matching people for 28 years. And I know a good match when I see one, especially when I have spoken to the guy, when I have analyzed who he is and what type of person he's looking for. Then I can be very helpful. So we start from my first matchmaking interview, and then we will find that one and only special woman, speaking or non-speaking English, but main thing with key life values and relationship expectations like you. So let's start.